All right. Well, welcome everyone. Had I known it was going to be a packed house, we'd have moved across the street. But we don't have audio set up, and it'll take about 30 minutes to do that. So, my apologies. Moving right into the meeting. I'd like the my mind wants to say proposal. Could I have a motion for going into public hearing, please?
I'll make a motion.
Second? Okay, all those in favor? Motion carries. This is the public hearing on a rezoning request for R-23-03 for Solon's Engineering applicant, RAC Properties by Rob Scott, property owner, seeks to rezone 5.19 acres. The map and parcel number is ST02/082, running on the north side of Railroad Street, the south side of Broad Street, the east side of Mulberry Street. Address is 1862 Railroad Street, from Highway Business District to a suburban residential 1 district. The proposed use is 8 single-family detached homes or lots. Is a representative here from RAC Properties who'd like to speak? Okay. All right. Is there any opposing views in reference to this rezoning request? And this is, for those that don't know it, it would be behind Casto's, where Railroad Street makes a small dog leg and then heads down the little white picket fence. There's one house on that property right now, and it is, as it says, currently highway business zoning. So is there anyone that would like to speak on behalf of this or against? Okay.
I'd like to speak against it.
Yes.
Tim Torelli, Glass House, 1980 Broad Street. If you guys do approve this, please put restrictions on it. Do not let this become 8 rental houses sitting on there on half an acre of land. My idea, why don't you guys buy it? The city buy it. You have a park over there already. Just go across the street. You can add to it, have more trails. It'll be preserved for generations to come. If you guys approve this, please put restrictions on it. Don't let it become Let's Found Providence. Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else? Does the council have any questions in reference to this or any discussion?
Well, has the developer indicated if it was going to be rental home property?
My understanding is that he wishes to make them 100% rental. Individual homes, but rented.
Yeah, that was gonna be my question, would this be considered a neighborhood and subject to the rental restrictions that we just voted on a couple of months ago? Because I don't think that's what anybody wants around there.
Anything over, as I understand it, anything over 5 homes is subject to the ordinance that was passed, which would be no more than 10% rental.
So they would also be asking for an exception to that rule, then, since they're wanting to put 8 here.
I would imagine that they would be requesting an amendment to that ruling as well. Yes. Any further discussion or questions? If there's nothing else, then I would ask for a motion to close the public hearing portion?
Motion to close public hearing.
Second.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor? Unanimous? The next portion of this is we have the minute approval for the June 2023 regular meeting minutes. This was provided to the council and the mayor June 22nd, 2023. As hopefully everyone has had an opportunity. I believe I had made some
This is the correct.
corrections before it actually was sent out. If anyone had found any other issues or questions on it.
Mayor, I got two small corrections. Item number 8, Councilmember Venable made a motion to approve the motion. I think that probably should be approve the purchase. And then, I think it's just a typo, item number 12. Second sentence, third sentence, Council, Venable, I think that probably should be Councilmember Venable noted that the contract states 220 feet and instead of add. That's all I have.
Okay. Any other changes? If not, do we have a motion to approve the minutes for June 20th, 2023 with the corrections as pointed out by Council Venable?
So moved.
Second? Okay, all those in favor? It's unanimous. In our packet, the council has a financial department report. This was provided by the CPA this afternoon. Unfortunately, she had the date down as Thursday, so she hit us with it last minute. So there's a revenue expenditure for year-to-date on the fiscal 23. And then, of course, we're just starting in the fiscal 24, so very little has changed on it, but it's also a revenue for expenditure. So when you have time, look over that and bring any questions to the table between now and next week. Also in the packet is the police department has given us a report, and this is for the month of June 2023. They had 47 incidences. They had 4 accidents, 24 arrests, 165 traffic stops, 61 reports, business checks, 210, and neighborhood checks, 120. If anyone in the public has any issues that might be going on that need to be brought to attention, the police department urges that you call the 911 center. There is a non-emergency, as well as, of course, the 911. So, more than likely, the state and police will respond, but they would like to have a paper trail, so to speak. We also have the Public Works Department. Jordan McDaniel put a report together. They had a total of 260 locates, 148 of those for water, 112 for sewer for the month of June. multiple new water meters have been set for new homes being built. They had a couple of 2-inch water main leaks or breaks that were repaired. Several small leaks that have been repaired, and they also have some that are scheduled to be fixed as soon as time allows. One of those being, I believe, in Mulberry, and they're trying to stay caught up with the grass cutting, with the rains and the way that they are. It's raining, and we get a couple of good days. It's usually the days that City Hall is closed, but they're doing their best. We had multiple street signs and stop signs that were run over, and they had to be repaired and or replaced due to vehicle damage. Most of those were down on Elizabeth Street, I believe, Elizabeth and 3rd Street. And they had a few water taps that needed to be relocated. Next on the agenda is the unfinished business. This is for Enviros Park. This was tabled on June 20, 2023 for regular meeting. This was to accept the proposal from Enviros Park for auto charging stations. And one of the main questions that the council had was who pays for the electric. The answer is that the city pays for the electric, but once a quarter, they figure what the city's portion would be, and they pay that portion to the city that compensates for the city electric use. So, one of the proposed locations is out here, about halfway to the stop sign on this side of Jefferson Street, and another one up just past the gazebo. This one would be cars only, and that one would be cars or trucks, and it would have 2 stations, so it would be a total of 3 electric stations for vehicles. Are there other questions that the council had on reference to this? That was the main concern. Okay. The 2 proposals that are probably the most attractive is the 70-30 split, or the city just allows them to put the stations in, and we get a small stipend, as I understand it, once a quarter, and they take the full responsibility for the stations. Both those options are a 10-year guarantee type warranty on it. Next on the agenda is new business. The first one is a quit claim in aid of title. This would approve the mayor to sign the quit claim between James L. Ware III and the city of Statham for tract or parcel of land lying and being in the 1742 1742nd District, GMD, City of Statham, Carroll County, Georgia, being that certain rectangle strip of land located at the intersection of that certain right-of-way known as Atlanta Highway and the certain right-of-way known as High Green Drive, running west from said intersection along the southerly side of said High Green Drive, a distance of approximately 201.46 feet with a depth of approximately 25.85 feet. It's parcel ID ST01013. This is where Hawks pest control on this tract of land in order to build, their business down there, better access and more room to grow and expand. So anyone that's not familiar, that would be where it's located. Any questions in reference to this quick plan? Okay, next on the agenda is citizen input. Anyone who has requested to, or would like to request to speak this evening, please sign in here with, Aisha, the city clerk, and then she will call one at a time.
Frank Burnett.
Then state your name and your address, and you have the floor for 5 minutes.
My name is Frank Burnett. Address is 1250 Oak Springs Way in City of Statham, in the Oak Springs subdivision. And we have a situation going on with the lack of finished roads and lights and stop signs in our subdivision. It's been that way ever since it was opened up to be built in. I have here a signed petition by 121 residents of our subdivision. And may I pass these in? These are for you and the council.
Is this one copy then?
Well, there's so many, they're all separate copies, but all of that amounts to the 121. Names, addresses, and those are all out of our subdivision. They're homeowners and registered voters. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and the council, for allowing me to speak to represent our subdivision, of which I believe probably 90% of who are here to support.
Go Frank, go Frank.
Well, we just let the Lord do what he wants to do here. I want to state some facts, and when I'm finished, I'll give you a copy of this. Facts. Fact number one, we have a legally binding, signed, and dated copy of the final plat for Oak Springs subdivision that includes a certificate of receipt of surety for required improvements, signed by Mayor Robert Bridges, June 21st, 2016, and recorded in the Bexar County Courthouse in Book 61, page 269, of which I have a copy here. If you'd like to see it, I'll pass it around to you. If not, I'm just going to hang on to it. But that's where it's located. We went to the courthouse in Winder and got a recorded copy, and it matches up exactly what we have here, which we obtained from Randy Gordon when we first built our house. Fact number two, the streets within our subdivision, Oak Springs Drive and Oak Springs Way, do indeed belong to the city of Statham, as verified by the Bexar County Department of Roads and Bridges Transportation Secretary and confirmed by other officials. Fact number three, we were promised to have a stop sign replaced within our subdivision that was torn down during construction at the corner of Oak Springs Drive and Oak Springs Way. The promise was broken and the sign was not replaced. It is a safety hazard. Regardless of what other issues is going on, this needs to be addressed, and the sooner the better. It's been like that since about the first year of construction. Fact number four, As taxpayers, we are held responsible for paying city of Statham taxes for road improvements to benefit all the city of Statham. Yet we, Oak Springs subdivision residents, we are being denied that same legal benefit and consideration within our own subdivision pertaining to the roads, the signs, the safety issue, and the lights. When the residents of Oak Springs subdivision purchased lots and had homes built, it never entered their minds that they would not have finished roads, street lights, or stop signs within the subdivision when the neighborhood was completed. Who would think to check when you go into a brand new subdivision, are we going to have finished roads and street lights? You go in with that expectation. Why would anyone even think about that? Never crossed our minds. It came to light after our first year of the HOA, and some of those that are here tonight was on the HOA with me. And through fact finding, talking to officials and various people, they're appalled at the fact that the city of Salem has not finished these roads.
That time,
And,
excuse me,
yes, sir,
how much more do you have because you're?
probably about 2 minutes.
So,
I'm sorry.
no, you're speaking on behalf of the group, so I'm going to grant you
Thank you.
extra time on behalf of the group. But I just
I
wanted.
didn't realize that buzzer was my time out.
I'm glad we have something.
Thank you.
Jack us in if you need us. We got you, Frank.
So anyway, but truly, who would even think of that going into a brand new subdivision? Nobody. That's just not what you think about. So I'm going to summarize this. The city of Statham has failed to protect and provide for the residents of Oak Springs subdivision. My question, Mr. Mayor, why was the city of Statham negligent in informing people as they were looking and buying these lots and building homes and so forth? Why would the city be quiet and not say anything? The city had to know, or whoever was in charge and knowing about this, the city had to know that they weren't going to do anything. My conversation with the developer, Matt Richardson, he kept saying it's the city's responsibility, okay? So anyway, so we now therefore formally request that the city of Statham make the required improvements to our streets, install street lights, replace the missing stop sign, and post a traffic sign at the entrance of the subdivision, excuse me, Hollow, with a maximum speed of 20 miles per hour, and further make any other necessary obligated improvements. Now, I'm going to give you a copy for everyone concerned about what I just read.
There are multiple here.
Yes, sir. There's what,
Can
9
we
copies.
see the class that you were speaking of?
Okay.
Please?
At the very bottom here is what I was going to
Yes, sir. I understand. I mean,
Binoculars.
That's Robert Reed's signature.
yes, sir. And they,
That's just one.
Where's the switching or gonna put it all?
Just want to make
sure.
copies for us.
While she's doing that.
Ours won't be as fancy as yours. Yours is thicker.
All All right. I would like to make something that's pretty obvious. The fact that we don't have these streets and lights situation resolved is not due to us as the citizens, the residents who are buying in good faith. However, you know, this happened. We're not really concerned. We just want it resolved. And these people, who all of these folks here represent, they deserve to have the respect of the city and to be accorded that. And to have these things done, which should have been done, and I don't see where there can be any argument that they shouldn't have been done. So whatever that's stopping that, what's keeping that from happening, needs to be done. The city of Statham does not want to be known for that. That leaves a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth. We moved here, like I know that all these other people did, to get away from the traffic out there and go out. Of course, it's following us. But that's beside the point. We all moved here because we wanted a smaller town, environment, community that we can become a part of. And that's what we all want to do. So that's what we're requesting. Allow us to do that. We just feel like we're in a never land. And I think you can understand that. So, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Frank. Do we have to make a motion, or what do we need to?
No, this is a public hearing / work session, and by law, other than the vote on the minutes, we're not allowed to make any votes. All of this will have to go before our legal department, obviously. Allow him time to look over it, and I can't give you an answer tonight. I can't say that it'll be next week. Our voting session will be next Tuesday, but the attorney is out of town, and so I'm not sure if he'll be back in time to review all of this at that point. But I'm sure that we will be able to give you an answer by our voting session in August, if not before.
Who would you contact?
Well, you tell me who needs to be contacted. I know you were the president at one time, but I don't believe you are now.
No, I'm not on the HOA. But you've got my information, you can call me and I can pass this on to the HOA.
Right. I have a couple of other people's information there too, but very familiar with you, and I appreciate you allowing me to contact you when that time comes. So you got your original back then?
I do.
Okay. So, and you made enough for all of us?
Well, got it back there.
All
Make
of
reference copies to
you?
them.
Okay. Who's next on the?
Shannon Patterson.
Shannon Patterson.
Well, I think, if there's any people at all the other meetings that we had, I don't see so many people here for the meetings, I think so. And I'm not a speaker, so I did pick the best night to come out and speak in front of all these people. But Shannon Patterson, 1963 Broad Street. I'm part of the beautification tree committee, and we are planning on some dates for cleanup. The next one's coming up July 22nd, so if anybody wants to come, please do. It's going to be over at Bridges Park, and I know we're going to plan on some fall dates also. My question on Bridges Park is, we walked around to see what was going on, what might need to be done, and we were very excited to see the air conditioners were over there. Looks like more of those have been put in place, so we're seeing some things progress. My question is, of the restroom. Unless something's happened in the past couple of weeks, I was just curious about the plans for the restrooms over there at Bridges. The ladies' room looked like it might be operable, but it was pretty yucky. I wouldn't let my child go in there. The other one, the men's restroom, the sink is off, and they just really, really need to be repaired before anybody could go really over there. And if we're doing a work day, you know, we may be there 4 to 6, 8 hours. So it would be nice to have a place to go other than the woods. The Girl Scouts are very interested in getting their badges by helping out. However, we can't allow them to come do that if they don't have a facility in the restroom. So I was just curious if there was going to be any updates on the parks now that we see some things moving. Are there any plans for the bathrooms?
They're gonna make the repairs on the men's room this week, probably Sam. And we thought it was vandalism, but there's a camera that can pick up those doorways, and the door happened to be open at the time, and believe it or not, the sink just fell off the wall. I mean, we watched the video about 6 times going, had to be somebody went in there, and there was nobody in there.
Gravity.
So they are gonna be repaired. Yeah, and,
Wall, give away. Super glue ran out.
and I'll make sure that, George, has him, you know, check the other one and do as much cleanup as possible.
Did somebody normally bring, is someone supposed to go over there to check those bathrooms?
They check it usually twice a day, and at one time they locked it, but then the walkers got upset, because we've had more vandalism there than we have anywhere else in the city. So they're supposed to check it at the beginning of the day, and they,
Cleaning it, do we have someone that's supposed to be going in there and cleaning it as well? 'Cause there was,
no, we don't have cleaners. It just basically falls on the street people, to do the tidy up and check it. It's supposed to be rented, as a matter of fact, I think this Saturday is the 17th. So it is on the list to have that bathroom repaired, and make sure that the ladies' room is tidied up. And you're saying that this will be July 22nd, so that'll be the following week.
yes, yes, it's a Saturday, it's Saturday, maybe it's next Saturday, not my calendar, it's a Saturday.
But
If anybody wants to join. You said there were air conditioners in there. We used that facility for a meeting one time.
Yeah.
Air conditioners not working.
no, we replaced them. We put 2 mini splits in there,
Okay,
and trust me, it'll get cold now.
okay.
And they're heat and air units, so, yeah, that's one thing off the to-do list. So we'll be able to rent them more often as well, but it was average 3-4 times a year was all we could rent it, because it's either too hot or too cold for somebody to have a function there, so. But they are new now. But anything that, you know, people are out and they see something, by all means, reach out to me, and we'll get it taken care of. Kind of the old saying, if you don't know about it, you can't fix it, so. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next.
On the side.
All right. Yes, sir. Could you sign in so we have your information and?
Sure.
And for those of you that may not have met yet, this is Captain Nichols of our police department. So,
Thank you, Mayor.
My name is Brian Craig, and I live in 1211 Oak Springs subdivision. And all of us in our subdivision, we appreciate the work that you do, Mayor Piper and the council members. And I've been there since very early on, since the subdivision was there. And I've known Frank and Kay for almost, I think, that whole time. And all of us in our subdivision, we really appreciate Frank and Kay because they care about us. They have a caring heart. They walk around every now and then, they talk to us, they care about us. And I just hope that you guys will care about us. That's what we're hoping. That's all I needed to say.
thank you, sir. Anyone else? Well, if that's all of the citizen input, have a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Okay, and all those in favor? Okay. Thank you all for coming. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Next time, warn me, I'll have the building across the street ready.
Next month, next meeting. Yeah.